my name is Don and welcome to another episode of Motorsport Manager here on my channel. I say another episode, there was one up. That was episode 1. Unfortunately I recorded up to about 8 episodes. Episode 1's quality was okay, and I went to edit episode 2 and realised that the quality, for whatever reason, had dropped. That maintained through the other episodes when I was looking at them as well. So I'm basically having to restart this save. That isn't this one, this is my personal save, so I've deleted all the save that I had for the current one, well, the one that we're going to do, which will be with ZRT Autosport. We're going to turn the tutorial off, go with medium, just because it's a better fit, shall we say. It feels, long's just too long. I've done that on my personal save and it's just too long, and short for me just feels too short, so we're going to hopefully have a happy medium with medium. We're going to go with the financial backstory. It gives us slightly less payments, which will make going up the ranks a bit easier and building the team up a bit easier. Political, I think, is quite a poor one because I'll abstain quite a lot of votes anyway, and just a bit of luck that you have a vote that you want to vote for. From time to time, there's not many throughout the season, I'll show you when we get in, that would really want essential for next season. And at the same time, I feel with 4 voting power plus for every vote just means that we'll win most votes, which I don't think is realistic. Unknown, no bonuses, so we're not going with that. Driver morale, I think it's reasonably easy to keep up driver morale anyway once you get going anyway. Maybe your first couple of seasons will be a bit harder, but it could be useful then. But I think long term, driver morale should always be fairly good. And part design -1 day, it might be useful at some point actually, but I'm not sure. So we're going to go with this. I'm going to fill this in and we will be back in just a second. This is the setup we've gone for. They've actually fixed the scroll bars. There were some issues with the scroll bars previously. So I've got my actual date of birth in. And we're going to go in the European Racing Series with ZRT Autosport now. The original time I'd done this, I sort of went in for my reasons for doing that. So I'll cover it a little bit. Basically it's just the team colours that attracted me to it. Yeah, they get blacks, whites, blues, and I just think the car generally looks nice with those colours in game and out of game. Well, in race and out of race, sorry. There's a lot of colours that I don't think they'll look lovely in the livery screen, they'll look lovely in every screen, and then you go into a race and it looks absolutely horrible on the race map. Now, that's just my personal opinion, others might disagree with that. Certainly the livery, when I originally done this series, I got to the second season, and the livery I made for the second season is probably the nicest car I have had in this game so far in race. Wasn't that nice outside, but it was really nice in the race. So that's what we're doing. We're going with ZRT Autosport purely because the colours are in the bottom tier. So we've got, well, our welcomes, our drivers saying hello and that they like each other and try to prove that they're better than the other. The guy, Peter O'Sullivan, our lead designer, wants new brakes. I'm trying to cover everything here, but I've already done this, so for me it's, I sort of know what to expect, whereas I'm trying to explain it in a way that I don't know what to expect, if that makes sense, because obviously you guys never seen you maybe seen episode 1 that was originally posted, which I've now taken off because it got copyright. I was going to leave it on so you could see anyway, but it got copyright struck anyway, so because I forgot to switch off the game music. Basic error, but nonetheless. So we've got 3 drivers. We've got Sergio Valdez, who will be our number 1. He's one of the top drivers in this series. On top of that, he still has to become some potential to become even better. Sergio's best skill is his cornering, but he struggles with his fitness. Then we've got Aureli. I'm just going to say Dembele because it's easier. Our first name I'm going to struggle with is, she's a good driver in here. A huge amount of potential and room that she could become a real star. Her fitness is her worry, but she also struggles with her... Sorry, her fitness is her strength, but she struggles with her braking. And then we've got Cherish Young, who is our reserve driver, and he's got potential to be good. Sorry, she's got potential to be good and could become one of the better drivers in this championship, but she isn't very good right now. She's very good at feedback though, which will help us in practice, but she has a hard time with her cornering, which means she'll tear up tyres if I remember correctly. targets, we're going to accept 9th because I think we can come 9th. Predator's quite a weak team in this tier, which I was fairly tempted to go with them, but I seen the colours that they have in Loki Doki series, and I didn't particularly like them that much. And at the same time, Loki Doki's got a series, so if you want to see that, go and head out over to his channel, and it's a fairly good series. So don't see where this potential is from Dembele, but 2.5 star. Okay, it does expire at the end of this season, and we will look to replace. Our number 1, Sergio Valdez, 3 star with just under 4 star potential, which could take him up to the next tier with us if he is still about, but he is on a fairly hefty wage for this level. So is Dembele, to be fair. If I could find a pay driver, I'd actually maybe consider replacing Dembele this season. If I could get a pay driver on like a less wage, so that we could recoup that 1.5 million back very, very quickly. Unfortunately, most of the pay drivers we'll attract at this level will pay out about 200,000 per race, and it's only a 10 race series, so you're only really gaining 500,000 from direct money there. So it would have to be lower wages as well if we find one. And then a reserve driver is also expiring at the end of the season, getting some potential, but I'm not going to renew that contract. And again, I'll probably just look for a pay driver for that spot. Sponsor wise, we do have the best current sponsors in the series with this deal here. 650,000 for coming in the top 6. 7 races remaining on this contract, and then we have this one which pays 150 per race. Got a couple of offers there, one offer here. I'm going to wait until I have 3 offers. Or this 4 million up front is quite a tempting one, because I struggle to see that getting better, to be honest. And again, we've got these ones here. So what I'm going to do is I will skip forward. I'll go and start scouting drivers. Before we do, I'm actually going to start improving the reliability. To scout drivers, it's fairly easy. I'm going to just improve reliability of one engine on the better one, because hopefully we'll build a better engine and a better gearbox pretty soon. And reliability this year for us isn't actually that disastrous, starting with the gearbox and the engine, because they're the longest to repair in a pit stop. And we're going to start improving those brakes, because those are god awful. And Billy Evans will do that. The reliability, because it's 1 day less with Billy Evans. So yeah, basically the scout driver, you just go into the scouting section, and I'm going to search for by team just now, and I'm going to start scouting all the ones that do not have that don't have a team, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I've completely slurred my words. So we're going to scout all these ones just now, and then I'll go through all the ones in the ERS, and then all the ones in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, and then the World Championship. Not that we'll get any of those drivers, but it's still nice to have them scouted. So I'll do that, and I'll forward on to when we get some more sponsor offers, and I will bring you back to see which ones we accept. Before we do that, we have Sergio's birthday, and we're just going to take the morale minus 10. Basically because I'm not paying now 100 grand to throw him a party. We did just build some brakes, so that's why the money has gone down. They're not going to be much better than the ones we have, but in fact they're actually going to be about equal with the ones we have. They're going to be slightly better now, with a similar potential to our worst brake actually, which is frustrating, but it will allow us to build better brakes with the good parts, hopefully, when they're done. Again, we've got an interview now. I won't normally do interviews, but this first one I think is quite an okay one. The interviews in this game need to improve a little bit, so hopefully you've certainly picked a tough task for your first job. Are you expecting to pick up many points at all this season? This category, everyone gets points from 1st to 20th. And I think fastest lap might also get bonus points. Now I'm not sure on that. That might have been something that was voted on in the other save that I forgot about. I did mean to show you the votes, so we will actually show you that straight after this interview actually. So I'm going to say we're going to get some points this season, because even if we finish 20th, we get points, even if it is just 1 point. I'm going to just say we've got 2 great drivers. That morale's already going back up, so it's not being too much of an issue, not spending that 100 grand. And it seems a fair prediction, but I'm hoping we're going to surprise you. Managing finances is a big part of motorsport is the one I'm going to go for there, because it seems the most logical one, and managing finances is a big part of motorsport. So the votes. So replacing Munich with the Phoenix Grand Prix is the first vote. Now, unfortunately, you didn't see the first series, well, the first set of episodes I recorded of this because the quality was so poor. I now believe I've sorted those issues. That's also why there's been no uploads of my video, because I've been trying to sort this quality issue out and make sure that quality comes rather than quantity, but that's meant that I've not had a chance to edit the Football Manager videos that I've got to upload right now. So I'm hoping that there'll be a Football Manager video on today when this goes up with it, but just an apology really for that not being there. No driver aids allowed. I'll probably vote against that because we want technical improvement if we're going to catch up, I think. Refueling using 80 kilogram fuel tanks. Fuel tanks can last up to 80% of race distance. This guarantees that teams need to make at least 1 pit stop during the race. Now we already have refueling, so I don't know what the size difference is on tanks. I will have a look for that in a second. Both virtual and real safety cars. Now this championship we have safety cars. I think I've not seen a virtual one in this championship. I've seen yellow flags. I think the next series up is virtual safety car only, and the top one is both. So let's have a look now. What did I say? I was going to check rules. Yes, so we need to go into the championship for that. Current rules. So refueling is the one I want to look at. Come on, where's refueling? Okay, so currently we have a 40 kilogram fuel tank, so it would basically double our fuel tank, so we could do a 1 stop rather than a 2 stop. And driver aids are banned, so that's already there as well. So what's this one? Oh, driver aids allowed. Which decreases the impact of driver skill. Now we've actually got a fairly good driver here in Sergio Valdez. Now there is a couple of drivers about similar level to that, so that's interesting. But we're going to vote on that. I've had no new sponsor offers yet, which I was kind of hoping to have had by now. So again, I'm going to skip up. You can go all the way right up to the race without these disappearing. As you can see, the offer expires in 2 races time, so we do have plenty of time to find sponsors. But it'd be nice to, particularly these two, pick up at least one of them before the race, because that means more money. And right now we're only making 58,000 per race, which isn't very good. And as you can see, as other teams signing sponsors, we are already plummeting down that list. So our new brakes are in. As you see, I've already just put them on to improve. The reliability is very poor though, and brakes do wear quite quickly, so I'm going to take that gearbox off and start improving the reliability of that. Even if you can just get up a little bit, that's less time in the pit stops. Probably won't go anywhere. I don't think it'll be our brakes for very long. We're going to build another set of brakes because our brakes right now are completely awful, and it's the one thing that we need to really improve on. So we can only get to good. Adds a random great component. That's interesting. We could take a gamble on that, and it would cost less money as well, because you don't have to pay for a designer's thing. Checking staff, that's the other thing I need to do. We need to have a look at our staff. The problem is again, this is only 9 with a potential of 39, whereas if we go with this is 34 with a potential of 64. So I think the most logical thing to do is actually just pay the extra 100,000 and go for this one and wait the extra 2 days. It won't be ready for the first race, but that means it'll hopefully be ready and reliable for the second race. I'm not going to go with the risk one. I will at the end of the season use that. I will probably use something like that, and that, because we'll be able to use 2 goods and 1 average after we've done this break. Because the risk level drops next season. Now that's plus the acceleration at 50, which would be fairly good. As you can see, it would take us up to 59 with a potential of 89. And and if we do that, and that would mean that we've got brakes that can go over 100. We can't get the greats until we build an R&D centre, which costs a lot of money. So yeah, our current best is here. Now, the first time I'd done this, I thought this was the best in the series, so slightly embarrassing. I thought we were going to have the best car in the second season, and was like, we're just going to smoke it, and took loads of risk. Only done 2 races of the second season before I realised the quality issue anyway, but nonetheless, I was basically selling that as like, we're going to have the best brakes in this thing, we're going to have the best car because it's really good, etc, etc, and it was a good car. It just wasn't the best car. So staff-wise, we've got Peter O'Sullivan, who will be getting replaced as soon as I can find someone. What I'm going to do is similar with the drivers. As you can see, I've got everyone that's unemployed getting scouting right now. What I'll do is I will go through everyone, and I will favourite some, and then I will go through the favourites, and we will approach some. I won't really show you all that because it's quite boring and tedious, but I will show you who we sign, when we sign them, and how much he costs. And the same with race mechanics, I'll probably will do that as well. We've got 2 decent race mechanics for this level, but the thing is I want, at this level, I want specific stats. I want reliability good, part fixes good, performance, and pit stops. Chemistry is a benefit boost, and so is concentration, but I think the 4 stats we need to be looking at is reliability, part fixes, performance, and pit stops. Pit stops obviously means less risk or faster pit stops in the race. Performance and reliability is basically this, when we go here, it boosts our stat for either performance or reliability work, so you want those quite high as well, so you can get your car reliable as you can get, or you can get your car performing to its potential as quickly as possible. And Rachel is 1 for concentration, 3 for reliability, 6 for performance, 6 chemistry, 11 part fixes, and 12 pit stops. So Rachel isn't very good at either performance or reliability, so if we could get one that's really good at performance and one that's really good at reliability, that'd be really good. We wouldn't even need to switch them over, it would just be a matter of one does one and one does other. So I might look at replacing these as well, even though they are 2 star and fairly decent for this level. I will see what we can pick up. Bonus wise, they come with medium tyres wear more slowly and part conditions fix 2 times faster. Soft tyres wear more slowly, and super overtake mode, which I haven't actually used yet, and I'm keen to use, but I had this guy last year and I couldn't even get the chemistry to go up, so I don't know if he's got low chemistry or whatever with his team, with Dembele. I'm not sure on that, but it'd be nice to actually have me able to see this in use. So again, I'm going to go and look for a head designer right now, and offer some contracts out. So it's taken me about 10-15 minutes, and I've made a nice short list of about 17 designers and 18 race mechanics. Now there is a couple at various teams. Hugh Goslin's not really the best, but look at this guy, Kai Goslin. And I kinda just chuckled at myself and went, do you know what, it'd be nice if we had 2 Goslins, but if you actually look, their stats aren't very compatible for one to be reliability and one to be performance, so I'm probably not going to go down that route. And then there's a couple of others that are at this level. Now, I don't know how many of these will actually talk to us. I haven't really tried that. There was a couple of the higher up ones that I clicked on and was like, would you be interested? There was a couple that said, no, I want to go to a higher team. Like, I think, is this one maybe one of them? No, he's interested. So I didn't favourite the ones that were like that, but there was particularly a designer, like the 3.5 star levels. I was having to check them all. I haven't checked, well, I say check them all. I checked a few of them, and there was a few that were like, no, I want to be at a higher level, or yeah, I'm interested. So it was a sort of mix of both. Other than that, I haven't offered any contracts yet. I'm going to do that now. I'm sort of going to try and pick one for one thing and one for another and see what we can do. If we get any, I will bring you back for that. Again, I will bring you back for sponsors, and if not, we will come back at race day. No, I'll be back for sponsors before that anyway. Okay, so it's just coming up to race day. I'm not going to show practice, mostly because it's fairly boring to watch, I will do a video where I show what I do in practice. I will use my other series, not my other series, my other save for that, and I'll just show you really what I do in practice and how I get my setup. So we've got some sponsors that we're going to accept before we go in. So we've got 16 for above with an upfront payment of 1 million and 75,000 if we finish 16 for above. 14 for above, no payment though, or 13 for above, which I think is the one we're going to take, because I think with reverse grids, even with a bad car, 13 should be achievable. So, and it's more money in our pocket, and it's only a little bit less money up front, so I think it's worth the risk. This one we're just looking for a big up front, and to be honest, neither of these are big up front. Mostly because I can't see us winning a race this season, so don't think that's right. So here we go. So that's 2 million. That's, yeah, it's this one. The 300,000 one is the easiest one, and I guess we just take the 4 million up front. Although that's 1 million up. Yeah, it's still. So we've got some money in the kitty to play with. Our new brakes aren't ready yet, of course. Reliability of the ones we did have are actually starting to go up a little bit though, so that is fine. I'm actually going to take that off reliability for now. It's up to 82%. I will build an engine next probably, because just to replace this one basically, and hopefully get a better one throughout the season. Suspension's the next thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to start making this a bit more reliable. As you see, the performance of our current brakes are starting to creep up a little bit. Just a little bit, but nothing major as of yet. So we're going to start fitting parts, make sure we have those brakes on the first car. In fact, everything that's good should be on the first car. So he's a number 1 driver. Why is he angry? Because his car isn't that much better than his teammates when he should be number 1. So even though he's got all the best parts, he is not happy. So I'm going to go do practice, and we'll be back with the race. And that's us back just after practice. Got 4th and 8th. I'm not going to read too much into that. Was on the highest settings, just trying to get as much out of the session as I could. I got nowhere near as much as what I wanted to get. I think I got 10% bonuses for both, if I remember correctly. We will find out just now anyway. Yeah, 10% for soft tyres and the race, and I think that's probably the way we're going to go, because I don't think fuel wise we're going to be able to get enough laps to justify any other tyre. Well, the soft tyre, that does 8 to 10, that does 12 to 14. We can actually put fuel, 12 laps of fuel in, so say soft tyre is probably better actually, despite the fact I've just got the bonus on a super soft. And we stop on lap 10 and lap 20 and just do a 2-stop. And I'm putting extra fuel in for 12 laps so that we can go aggressive early on, which will hopefully make our life a bit easier. So we start 3rd on the grid with Sergio Valdez. It's reverse order of alphabetical name, so I expect Dembele to be right down the bottom. Yeah, it's in reverse alphabetical of first name right now. Usually it would be reverse grid of championship standings. Hope the quality is okay. I've spent a lot of time trying to fix this quality issue that I had. It will also improve the quality of the Football Manager save recording anyway, at least I hope so. Unfortunately we won't see that until about episode 25, I think that's where I'm recorded up to, is 24, 25 just now. And obviously my priority has been try to get the quality of it sorted, so I've not recorded another episode of that since the quality settings have changed. Jean Sadar overtaking Valdez. Dembele still down in 17th sadly. Jat already in the lead in the Garuda, which is the best car in this series. I expect her just to drive on. Back up into 4th with Valdez as he overtakes Gerard, so that's positive news there. I don't know, Jean Sadar and the 2 Garudas are the ones I'm expecting to do really well this year. think Jean Sador is one of the better drivers in one of the better cars, and Big Garuda is just the outright best car in this grid, which I do like their colours as well. They were the same I was considering going as well, but I felt I didn't want to just go up, win the first season because we've got the best cars to start off with. So Valdez is doing it. Oh my days, I have forgot to take us off high. So we're going to need to conserve to make sure the tyres can get to lap 10 now. That was a bit of a mistake. The other option would have been a free stopper on 8, 16 and 24 with the super softs. But I think if we can make this strategy work, the one less pit stop will benefit us, but because I forgot to take us off high and uber aggressive, it's going to be difficult to make it work. I think we've got enough petrol left though to now go to medium. Yeah, we've got, actually we can go high. Probably, which overfueled for 2 laps, I probably got away with the fuel one. Rather, I didn't get away with the tyres, I don't think, so need to conserve for the rest of the stint tyre wise. We've given them a higher engine mode, sitting 6th and 19th currently. Let's go and check on Dembele, who's all the way back here, just in time to see her overtake a guy into 18th. That was Santa Ana in the Predator, which is the one car that we should comfortably be beating. But we're just looking for 13th in this race for a couple of £100,000. Every penny will add up. If we can get at least one car into the top 13, that would be very handy. We're going to make some places now as everyone starts to make their pit stops. Looks like we've actually got some better tyre wear than some of the other soft runners as well, which is handy. I think we'll maybe have to switch to a free stop with Dembele because her tyres are starting to go off, so we're going to do that. We're going to fuel for 9.6 laps so we can hover in the higher engine mode. But we're going to stick to the 2-stopper with Valdez, who's up into 3rd with Arbeloa pitting. El Sadat falling behind on the super soft tyres, 7 seconds behind, 8 seconds behind, sorry. Amazing managed to get super soft to last this long, but he's got to be losing a lot of time with that tyre wear. Uchump also got to lap 9, and we're going to bring Valdez in at the end of this lap. We're going to put in about 11.4 laps worth of fuel again, just so we can have the higher engine mode and comfortably get to lap 20. So Dembele is going to be next to stop on lap 16, and we'll also stop on lap 24, whether Valdez has one more stop to make. Expect to have to make repairs in at that stop, but hopefully we can get there without a hitch. And he's going to rejoin in 11th, bit lower down than what I expected him to, but of course we have been conserving the tyres, so he's maybe not gone as fast as he could have. And Melo and Cavalcanti ahead both need to make stops as well, so that will make life a bit easier there as well, because hopefully we can gain those places back, and we will. Sabado making a charge behind Valdez as well here, and Valdez just has nothing to defend with against that kind of pace. I feel like he's got a bit more pace in the tank here as he's going to try and fight with Sabado, but I feel that Chu is maybe slowing them up just a little bit, but we've not got the pace to get past Chu at the same time. Chu obviously in the Dragon Team Racing China car, or Dragon Racing Team China, something like that. Absolute mouthful of a name. Of course we're putting a much longer strategy with Valdez and just going with the 2-stop, so a lot of these cars could be on lighter fuel loads going for a free stop. So it's not a disaster that we're losing places right now. It'd be nice to see Dembele starting to make a move. She's got about another lap to do. Another 2 laps even to do on these set of tyres. She goes and tries to make a move for 15th, but cannot do it. Had another little look there, but again, no way past. Again, stuck behind the other dragon car of Tang, who I believe is a pay driver. We've got the blue flags are costing us time here. Sadly, it's cost us a position as well. We're going to put her at the end of this lap, and we're going to put in another 8 laps worth of fuel, well 9, so we can stay on the higher engine mode. Repair wise, we're going to repair that engine. I think this is a stop to do that repair on, because it's a fairly long repair of the engine. Not very realistic to be repairing an engine in a pit stop, to be fair, but at the same time, I think when you're going to do it, this is a stop to do it on, because it's the longest stint. Well, it gives us half the race to recover, and it's shown that it can already last these amount of laps. So hopefully she's not stuck in the pit lane for too long. As I say that, it's already over 28 seconds, just stopped. So she will rejoin fairly far down the pack, I would imagine. But cars around her do have to make stops still. Valdez up into 8th right now. Again, still stuck behind Chu, which is frustrating. He will be making his stop in 2 laps. Eventually gets past Chu just before Chu goes into the pit, sadly. Bet you he gets an undercut on us as well. Which will be disappointing, but part of the parcel of the game. Hopefully our overcut works. We were ahead at the time, and did say I felt Valdez had more pace if he could get past him. He just couldn't get past him. As Gerard makes a move into 7th behind, and is comfortably going to pass Valdez at some point soon as well, I would imagine. Seems to have a lot of pace in that car as we lap the Predator of, I think it's Evans, but I can't see it. Yeah, it's correct. We're struggling for tyre temperature right now. I better remember to hit that pit button, and we're going to fuel him to the end. I think his car can make it to the end without any repairs, actually. It's a bit of a gamble though. The brakes might go. Dembele down at 18th has another couple of laps to do before her pit stop. I believe she has also been lapped. Sadly, as yeah, she has to have been, because Valdez is getting lapped now as well, and he's up higher up the field. So we could actually pit her a lap earlier should we wish, and keep her on the same strategy. It also means she has an extra lap's worth of fuel in the tank. She's trying to catch up to 17th here, but she's just not got the legs. I think she's catching up a little bit each lap, but not by much. It would help if I was looking at the right one. Although she did take 2 seconds off of Rogers in that last lap, but this one looks like Rogers is pulling away a little bit. So she'll come round and complete another lap. And she's just sort of in no man's land. Is Valdez any more interesting spot? Yeah, he's defending right now from El Sadat, and I think he's in the Archer car. He's also getting passed by Sabado, who I expect to come past Valdez should he be able to make that pass fairly quickly as well. So we're struggling for our strategy right now. Of course we are playing hopefully a longer strategy than other people, but I'm starting to worry that we're maybe losing a bit too much ground and not able to get to catch them when they're in the pits. Although we might patch Marchetta here if we're lucky. We do. So we're back into 11th place as Dembele gets lapped again and has to come into the pits. I've not paid attention to her for a couple of laps, and our tyres have gone off. Yeah, her car will come to a limit at the end, but she's going to be slow down this lap because her tyres are gone. That was my fault. Not the first time I made that mistake, and it won't be the last. It's so easy to focus on one driver and forget about the other at times. She's got just about enough fuel to get to the pit stop as well. or the pit lane I should say. So it's worked out fuel wise, but not tyre wise. As you can see, she was very slow on that lap. And she will return in 18th place, just behind a couple of cars that have lapped her. But she is comfortably in 18th, I think. Yeah, 22 seconds ahead of the Predator of Santa Ana. And Valdez back in the fight with him in 9th right now. I don't think a lot of the cars above him are going to stop again now. Sabado and Vananen certainly won't. Antonov and Calvacanti I think are too far ahead, as probably as well as Gerard, who might not stop either on his super softs. Obviously starting further up the grid means we get a bit of an advantage, so it's a bit harder for Valdez to slip further down the pack, but the pace in the car isn't there really to maintain any sort of realistic challenge further up the grid. But he is coming round. I believe this will be his last lap, because I believe he has lapped. Just that Garuda just far too strong. So nobody else is actually stopping us. Thinking we're in another couple of races, so yeah. There we go, 9th and 18th we'll have to do for this race. It does get us our 200,000 bonus, which is nice. We'll see exactly how much money we get at the end of this race. I think in general I'm going to do 2 races per episode, but I think just for this one and next one we'll do 1, and then we'll go 2 after that, because then that will take us to the end of the season comfortably in a 10 race series. Unless I go to 2 now and then do 1 at the end with the development of next season's car, that might also be an option. So I'll have a think, and it might be 2 races next episode, or it might be 1. If it's 1, it will be 2 for the rest of the series. If it's 1, we will get caught back up with the 1 race at the end. So we're 7th in the championship right now with that result, 1 point behind the Archer, and then you can see the top 5 are just head and shoulders above everyone else really, picking up a lot more points. But overall, a fairly decent start to this series, and a fairly decent start to this team. Wasn't expecting a big result, but to get the target of 13th is a benefit. That will mean we start 4th and 11th on the grid next race, which I believe will be in Munich. We'll have a look at our development. Morale goes up for Valdez and down for Dembele, sadly. Reserve driver getting some bonuses as well. 600k we gained from that race, so that's paid for one of those sets of brakes nicely. And I didn't actually think to check about the fastest lap standings. So yeah, there is bonus points for fastest lap, as you can see. Ja getting 22 points instead of 20. So nice boogie bonus there. Not one that I can ever see us getting. But I will end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked, a like and subscribe is always appreciated, and I will hope to catch you all next time.